Tēnā koutou katoa ngā mihi nui ki a koutou. So hello and welcome everyone. Welcome to Sisters Collective. I'm your host Carmel Riley and I am here with the beautiful Michelle, who is otherwise known as the Rebel Witch, as well as a few other names. She's a wonderful guest and it is my absolute honour and privilege, Michelle, to have you here today. Kia ora.
Thank you, darling. I'm so excited to be here. I'm so excited to continue our collaboration and conversation. It's been a few months since we recorded the one on my YouTube, so I'm excited to see where today's one goes. And yeah, it's an honor to be here, speaking to your community and connecting deeper with you today.
Oh, thank you. I know a lot of us have had a really busy Gemini month, all those thoughts. We're rushing around crazy. So if you're joining us now, just allow yourself to settle and just really enjoy this very, very short little call to our ancestors and to the divinity that rests within us. Waire te rangi e tū nei. Waire te papa tū anuku e takato nei. Whakapūmautia tēnei manaakitanga uru ora, manaakitanga ki he marama, manaakitanga ki te aio, haumi e hui e tāki e. That's a clearing. That's clearing the skies to make way for the blessings of the Atua and the divinity that is within us. So with that little clearing, Michelle, I'm going to hand it to you just to do a little description or a big description of the woman that you are and of your message to serve others.
Thank you, darling. That was so beautiful and felt that in the heart space. So about me, so I've been diving deep into the coaching world the past 3 years because I came to the realization that I've had quite a non-traditional path in the sense of I was exposed from a very early age into self-development. From about 11 years old, I was already going to children's and teenager weekend self-development workshops and been very tapped into spirituality since a very young age and been very encouraged by my mother as well to tap deeper into my gifts. So I had this realization about 3 years ago. I had just had an epiphany, a realization about why not me? So what I mean with this is, I was consuming and listening to all these inspiring people doing incredible things in this world, sharing their magic, sharing their voice, sharing their wisdom and creating ripples of impact and empowerment and healing and activation. And I was listening and thinking, why not me? I have just as much wisdom, experience, tapped in, channeling that I have already done naturally since I was a child. And just having that moment of realization that what's the difference between me and them? They just went for it. They just decided that this is what they wanted to do, is walk this path of sharing this magic, sharing their healing, sharing their tools. And it felt so true for me to do the same. And after that moment, everything has very rapidly unraveled in my path. So from there, I became a human design reader because human design really helped me shift out of burnout that was caused from me trying to take action on too many ideas and side hustles, things that were out of alignment for me. I was trying to force too many things and it created burnout for me. And human design is what brought my energy back into alignment and shifted things. So I really wanted to bring this tool to others to have that realization of their unique codes and gifts and medicine that they've come into this lifetime with to actually create a path of alignment that doesn't always have to be so
Myers-Briggs.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't sue us, Myers-Briggs, but a spiritual framework, you mean? Or
Yeah, absolutely. And just as, like numerology and astrology, and I feel like all of those There is so much.
Christology.
Yes. And so beautiful because it does allow us to either awaken to what we may not know yet about our gifts, or it's that confirmation of what we already knew. You know, it's just someone reflecting or something reflecting back the things that you knew and realizing that that is your unique source that you came into this lifetime with. So that's where it started, was with human design readings, and very rapidly from there I stumbled across a soul purpose and spiritual life coach certification course and did that. And ever since then I've worked with incredible spiritual women who are very tapped into their medicine and very tapped into their big vision of what they desire to create in this lifetime with the impact that they want to create. The only thing that was holding them back are the blocks, the limitations, the self-sabotage. Like, the picture is so clear. They know what they desire. It's their full truth, but something is just preventing them from actually doing it. And this is my specialty, is shadow work, which has helped every single one of my clients to break through those blocks and actually realize their potential, their worth, their value. And it's created such rapid momentum for them.
I have so many questions. Like, as you were talking, I'm like, every time you talk, I go bang, bang, bang. And I'm like, so first up, I just want to ask you, because like, you are young age-wise, right? But you have a long tradition of ancestral whakapapa, right? And could you just share a little bit about that? Because before you get to this physical wahine, this beautiful transforming leader and coach, it's not like this is not part of your ancestral tribal. Tell everyone a little bit about like that, so they can get a bit more of a context about who you are.
Absolutely. So I was raised in New Zealand in the countryside since I was 7 years old, but before that I was born in Finland. So I am half Finnish and Swedish from my mother's side, and from my father's side I am a mixture, but mostly Chilean, Argentinian are the core ones from my from my grandmother and grandfather from my father's side. So to be honest, there is definitely a sense of connection that I feel, the support of my ancestors, but I am only just starting to unravel deeper and deeper of the culture. And I feel like it's going to be this deepening of the medicine that comes through from those ancestral bloodlines. The deeper I dive into this work and my self-discovery. But yes, so there's definitely very strong, fiery energy coming from my Chilean, Argentinian bloodline. Both my grandmother was very an activist, so she very much shared her voice on things that she didn't either agree with or did agree with. And my grandfather was an artist and kind of made his own path with that. So there's some bigger history behind them too, but definitely a lot of this fiery energy, and I do feel a lot more connected in with the sort of like medicines of like shamanism and stuff. Not saying that I'm a shaman at all, but I feel very called towards shamanism, plant medicine, being tapped into other realms, like one foot in, one foot out, and actually traveling deeper into yourself with these forms and tools. And the same goes from my Finnish, Swedish side. Of course, there's a lot of paganism. So being tapped into natural medicines and natural cycles as well, which I feel very connected in with our emotional seasons and cycles, energetic seasons and cycles, and just seeing how it reflects back in the natural world, but within us as well, and being more connected with our own cycles and with nature's cycles. So
That's really
good
good.
unraveling.
Well, I suppose I'm really interested in all of your ancestral lines, but just in terms of Finland, there's and sort of up in the fiords, there's some crystals there that only occur there in the lower parts in Haas and Aotearoa. And one of those is kyanite, fuchsite,
Mm.
which is old here. Actually, I've got my heitiki on
Yes.
yeah, but also therlite, which is found in Golden Bay. And I'm just really intrigued that they're like the two places in the world where these, therlite is, I don't know if you have a piece, but you need a piece because it's part of your ancestral whakapapa.
Yeah.
You can get it in Golden Bay. It's a very pinky kind of a, I might have a stone that's a bit like, if people could see my desk, I've got full of, these are actually natural moonstones, but it's quite similar to this. It's sort of got this pinky kind of like fleck in it. It's amazing stone. But just it must be something to do with the mountainous just dropping into those fjords. But yeah, some of the gemstones are really similar. And I guess the reason why I was bringing that up is because we just think, like, and I know your family, you grew up in Cheviot. Like, how does a girl with your whakapapa, your ancestral, no doubt medicines and shaman, medicine woman and shaman in your lines, how did you survive in Cheviot? Oh my God. Come on, tell that story.
Yeah, I luckily was brought into this lifetime with a very rebellious spirit and soul. So I will thank that for my stubbornness of just staying true to my expressions and my style and my thoughts and whatnot. So I've definitely been the black sheep of this town. But otherwise, yeah, definitely during teenage years, it was a very tricky place to live in.
But that's real testimony to you because you have survived. And not only that, you're actually thriving and leading other wahine, mostly wahine or just solely woman?
Yeah. So I definitely, I am here for anyone, but I mostly focus on speaking to women. That's my true calling at this time.
That's awesome. So talk to us a little bit about what you are teaching and sharing that is transforming other women and bringing out all that you've learned. Actually, stop. Before we go into that, I've got to ask you a question first because I don't want to forget this. What is your human design? We'll go into the teaching in a minute. Let's talk a little bit about human design because I know that there are people out there who are either interested or who may be interested. So what is your human design and how did you incorporate that little journey into sharing with others?
So I'm a 3/5 emotional generator. So definitely when I found out about the 3/5, about the trial and errors and about being a mirror, a reflection, and either that being, well, either way it's a medicine, but either it being this activation when people sort of have these like reflections through me, or it's majorly triggering. And I've definitely experienced spectrum of both sides of either being super triggering for people without even saying anything. Sometimes my energy can just
possibly
and then the other side of it is where people have felt really open to coming and sharing their most vulnerable parts of themselves. I'm talking people just coming off the street and telling me their life story, and they're just like, okay, cool, see you later, and continue on with the day.
So just the types of, just in case anyone's listening, they go like, what the hell are you two talking about? Like, what are the types of human design? Just like the basic, and then maybe just like give a brief overview, because I know there are people who are really interested in that and they might want to come and do a reading with you.
Absolutely. It's such an incredible tool. So for anyone that doesn't know human design, I'll just quickly touch on as well. So it's based on different ancient teachings and these esoteric sciences. So it's based on Kabbalah, I Ching, chakras, and Kabbalah, and then backed by 2 sciences. So that is what is the makeup of human design. So that's why you will find a lot of, if you're into astrology or numerology or anything like that, you will find a lot of similarity when you look at your human design, because it is made up of these different systems. So then we've got the 5 different types. So the most popular one that biggest, part of the population is a generator.
Mm.
So generator is got the sacral energy to be able to a lot of the time create from the unseen into the seen. So we've got a lot of this like energy of creation, sacral energy. Anyone who's into chakras, what the sacral energy brings. It's that sensuality, but creativity and being able to make the things happen. Then we've got a manifesting generator, which is actually a combination. Yeah, love it. Multi-passionate babe. So this is a combination between generator and manifester, but leaning more towards being a generator with some of the attributes of a manifester, such as if anything that you're going to create or take action on is going to impact somebody, it's best to inform them before you take the action to avoid any misunderstanding or any butting of heads or anything like that, which leads me into manifester. So manifestors are the innovators, the ones that sort of lead the way, go first. Like they come up with these out of the box thinking, visions, ideas, and they will be misunderstood a lot of the time. A lot of people will feel probably quite triggered by them, but until what they've done makes sense, and then everyone's like, oh cool, that's such a great idea, and then they'll appreciate what a manifester brings into this world. Then we've got projector, which is amazing for people who are projectors, are incredible at seeing sort of a bird's eye point of view. Like you have really incredible different point that pretty much none of the other types can see. So you're able to see things. This is like for project managing or something like that, where you could apply it, is being able to bring these different points of views into the situation. And finally, we've got the unicorns of the types. So we've got the reflectors. Reflectors are 1% of the population, a very rare type. That's why they're the unicorns. And they are very wise. They are very tapped into the, moon cycles, to all the planetary shifts. Like they are super, super tapped in because they are completely open. They have no defined centers, which is another thing, that I won't go into now, but it's so they're very open channel, which is beautiful, but they also need to honor and put boundaries in place to have time for solitude and actually come back to their true center, because otherwise they can feel like they don't know who they are because they're absorbing everybody else's energy. But when they are tapped in, they are the wise women, wise men, like super, super in tune, super channel all the magical things. So and then how human design, how I applied it, like I mentioned before, about getting myself out of burnout. So the way that I applied it, the top things that really resonated and I embodied was my type, my strategy, and my authority. So my type being the generator, my strategy being to respond, and my authority being an emotional. So when I started applying this, I noticed that I was behaving like a manifester. So I was trying to just take the action, make the things happen without actually tuning into, is this my truth? Is this what truly lights me up? Does this feel like this is actually meant for me? I was running off of doing the things that I thought was a good idea, and that's what led me initially to the burnout. So when I actually tuned into this responding, allowing myself to feel into, does this feel true to me? Does this excite me? Does this light me up in my body? That's when things shifted very quickly, because I wasn't doing the things that just seemed like a good idea. I was actually going, hold on, is this right? And that very quickly got me to attract the right opportunities, because that's another beautiful thing with generators and manifesting generators. When we're in alignment, we become magnets. When we're actually tapped into what lights us up, we become these magnets to opportunities, being in the right place at the right time, meeting the right people, having the right conversations, and actually magnetizing the things for us to respond to. So that's a little bit about human design and why I loved it so much because
Yeah.
of how it changed my trajectory.
Thank you for sharing that. I just think that sometimes it's nice to, spend a bit more time and explain these different modalities to people. And I know that generationally, it's quite human designers kind of fits that 25 to 38, maybe a little bit older. It's really resonated with a generation. So I wanted to share that just in case anyone was like really interested and they can. Do you still practice? Are you still a human design reader? Or have you shifted?
So I have shifted because it didn't feel exciting to me anymore. So this is one of those things, is if things don't feel good anymore, don't force it because it worked at one point. So I actually use it with my clients. I don't offer it as a singular reading. So I'll do it with my one-on-one clients, and I also will be teaching the modality of it in my upcoming group program. So still use it, but in a different way.
Yeah, no, I love that. So tell us about what you're doing now, because I diverted you into human design because I wanted you to explain it. And but it just adds to the beauty of all of those things that you can share and help others to open in terms of their own self-development. So tell us about some of the shadow work. I'm really interested in this, and I know, automatically I get out one of the dark, the tuhua, the quartz of the smoky quartz, the obsidian tuhua, Anyway, I divert. Tell us about your shadow work in particular. Somatic shadow seduction. I love that.
Yeah, so shadow work is something that I am very, resonate with a lot. I take all of my clients through shadow work, and there's so many different ways that we can do shadow work, which I will share about shortly. But definitely, I know that doing shadow work, we really get to the root. We're not just fluffing about on the surface. We're actually getting to the root cause of any self-sabotage, any limitations, the stories that we tell ourselves of why we're not good enough or why we can't do it, or maybe right now is not the right time, or whatever the stories are. So shadow work paired with somatics and with self-seduction is my beautiful combination that has been incredible for all of my clients that I've worked with. It's really helped them to come into alignment with body, mind, spirit, to not only dig into and transmute those shadows, to shift any of those limitations, but then also with self-seduction, cultivating that self-love and confidence to then actually be able to take action on those ideas, on those visions. And with somatic healing as well, this allows all of this to, almost fill that void that we've, dug out the shadow, those little pesky blocks, and then it's through the somatic that we're able to fill that with this loving light energy. So such a beautiful combination. So somatic shadow seduction is about
I'm going to put up a little slide that says somatic shadow seduction.
No. So it's really about having this devotion to a practice that you tap into every day to make sure that you are creating this healing, this activation, and this alignment. So with somatic, so this is what I teach. There's so many different things, but what I personally use and teach is breath work and emotional freedom technique. So those are my main ones that I use for myself.
Are using movement through your breath and movement through your, tapping your body's meridians to shift tension, to shift, mucky thinking. Or you can probably Is that correct, or is there a better description?
No, absolutely. So it really helps us so breath work is a beautiful one because what it does is it not only allows you to move any blocked energy that's gotten stuck in your body, it can be from many years ago that hasn't been tended to.
Yeah.
So it helps to not only actually bring fresh energy through the breath, but what it does, it also cleanses the blood of any old blood buildup that is in your body. So it's on an emotional, energetic level and on a physical level, bringing fresh new energy into your body and releasing the old. So this is also allowing you to regulate your nervous system, which allows you to come back into your presence, into your center, and allow you to, actually come into your true nature, this regulated state, this responsive state rather than reactive state, so that you can actually have clarity and focus of what your next aligned action is and be tapped into your truth rather than being led by emotion or led by outside external,
Lack.
yeah, yeah,
Doubt,
absolutely.
uncertainty, procrastination, fear, shadow.
Yeah.
What is your favorite? Well, what is the breath that you like? As a healing practitioner, what's a beautiful breath you can share with us? Because I love to do this with people, because people just have no idea of all these cool things you can do just to slap yourself across the head and say, get out of that funk in a
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah. So, there's so many different forms of breath work, but the one that I love to tune into every day. So this is another thing, is if you're about to start introducing new practices to hold yourself accountable, I love to put it in my phone as an alarm. This just reminds you to actually do the thing.
Wow, that's good.
Anytime you're trying to introduce a new habit or
Breathe.
new
Just once a day, 9 a.m. Breathe. The rest of the day you can run around.
Exactly. And the most simplest one, the quickest one, is doing 3 rounds. And basically you do your first round 10 breaths, second round 20 breaths, and third round 30 breaths. And at each section, so 10 breaths, when you come to the last one, you will hold your breath. At the exhale, you will hold it for 10 seconds, and then you'll start your second round of 20. And again, when you finish the 20, at the exhale, you will hold for 20 seconds. And once again, with the 30, the same thing, hold for 30 seconds.
Wow.
This takes literally 5 minutes.
Wow.
You devote yourself to 5 minutes every day to this. It will change your world. It will change your life.
I'm going to give that. I mean, I do lots of breathing, but I love that sequencing. And so, can I ask you a question? Is it best to do that in the morning? And should you be outside or inside, or is there any kind of ways that you can? How do you? Or are you lying down? Some people lie down and do the breathing, or should you be standing up? What is your perspective on that?
So I feel like there isn't a should. As long as you're actually doing it, that is the best thing. As long as you're actually finding a gap in your day to day to do it, even if it's on your lunch break or if it's just before you go to sleep. But what I would encourage is to make it into a morning practice. And the reason I would encourage this is because it actually sets the foundation and the tone for your day. So if you actually lead from this energy of being grounded, centered, clarity in your true essence, the rest of your day will play out so much differently, because you will once again, like I said, be responding rather than reacting to all the things, and life is throwing all these different obstacles and you're just reacting to it all. Instead, you will actually become more just responsive to it. And when you become more responsive to it, the way that your day-to-day happens, it shifts, because your internal world has shifted. What you sort of call in is different. So, and when it comes to the way to do it, when it comes to this quick one to do every day, you can sit down, you can lie down, whatever is best for you. I tend to just sit, because it is one of those just quick sessions. So it doesn't need to be anything complicated. You can do it anywhere. And that's the thing that I want to preach here, is that this is meant to be a devotion by doing it in this quick way, so that you can do it anywhere. You can do it in your car, you can do it in bed, you can do it when you're at someone else's place or in the park or wherever. It doesn't have to be all like lay the blankets down and the pillows down and light the candles, and like we love all of that, we love rituals, but it's more about making sure that you're staying devoted to this practice. So making it just
I
quick.
love that. I love it. It's a devotion. Not
Yes.
the breathing. And this is like when I was writing my book, so Manifester, I did some research into breathing, and only 5% of the population breathe consciously. Whoa. No wonder everyone's got anxiety.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
love the way you describe it, a devotion to yourself. It kind of elevates it to just do your breathing. It's just like makes it kind of special and makes it, part of the embracing of divinity, which is a wonderful thing. So with the breathing is very important, but you also have other practices which are the somatic shadow seduction part of that are part of your what you teach. What else do you include with the breathing?
Yeah, so we can actually talk about EFT because I've got it both as the somatic, but also as the shadow work, because it is both. It's actually a beautiful combination of the two together. So anyone that doesn't know about EFT, emotional freedom technique, it's about hitting the acupressure points on your body, and at the same time you are speaking into any of the icky feelings, any of the sticky like limitations that are coming through. So you can use this for anything. You can use this for anxiety, you can use this for any money blocks, you can use this, I've used this for a multitude of things. I even use this through my breakup, through grief. So there's so many ways that you can, anything and everything you can use EFT for. So the beautiful thing is as we tap on these acupressure points, we are speaking into the discomfort, into the yucky feelings, and then we're still holding so much love, forgiveness, and acceptance for ourselves. And then we start feeding in the loop, the message of the opposite of that, or of the positive that we are wanting to call in or align ourselves to. So for example, just actually being like, I am confident and I can do the thing. And actually, I mean, that's so brief, but so it's going from, I don't feel good enough. I don't think I can make it happen. I feel like something's stopping me, but I still love and accept and forgive myself anyway. And I know that I am brilliant. I know that I have done hard things before. I know that I'm capable of this. And I love and accept and forgive myself through all of life's, the path of it, whatever. Like that's just such a random one I just threw in there. But so as you're doing it, you tap.
Yeah, where do you tap? Because like people do it. I'm just curious as to where the points that you tap, because everyone does it differently, right?
Yeah. I'm just gonna sorry, I'm just quickly putting my cable in. Yeah, so there are different ones. So what I have used for the past few years is you tap on the head. And so this is where you just start, speaking into the uncomfortable of like, I don't think I can do this, or I feel like I'm not ready. So at the start of your eyebrows, I feel like no matter what I do, it's not going to work for me. So side of the eyes, under the eyes, it makes me scared to think that I can't do this. Under the nose, so right here. So yeah, I won't go too much into this because it will take some time, but we just tap on these points just under the collarbone, under where the bra strap would hit, and then you start again.
Do you do that one? Have you tried that and then clasp as you say it? Do you just
yeah, so that one's a great one.
This is it can shift quite a lot. A lot of people hold pain there. And I mean, do you find that you're talking about it in terms of breaking up negative thinking, but it's also, I mean, in my experience, I learned this when I was learning to be a hypnotist. He was an NLP guy, and it's really also quite useful for pain. Like if you have pain and you start out and you do, you talk to the pain and then you reverse it,
Yeah.
you can take, from reduce your pain basically to a 2 or a 3, which makes it comfortable, which is kind of weird too, that it not only is pain in the mind, but it's also stress in the body. It just moves it.
Yeah, it's incredible. So there was a study done about EFT specifically on veterans, or like people that had been in these horrific situations, so massive PTSD,
Mm.
and they've tried all the different medications and all the different types of therapy and all of that. EFT, I believe it was after 7 or 9 sessions, 1 hour sessions each time.
Wow, that's a long
Like,
time.
yeah,
Yeah,
it is. But I mean,
yeah, we're
PTSD,
talking
big
chronic.
work.
Yeah.
Yeah, chronic. By the end of the time together,
Mm.
it had almost completely cleared the
Wow.
PTSD in comparison to any of the other things, hadn't even come close. And
Mm.
EFT was able to actually almost completely heal the PTSD for them. So
Mm.
definitely don't underestimate the simplicity of tapping on yourself.
Well, I was also going to ask you, do you do it in the mirror? Because I was watching a Louise Hay and she was going, I know, because I remember when the first time I was very resistant to it, when I was having some challenges in my life and I went to see someone, they said, you stand in the mirror and you go, I love you so much. You're so amazing. And I just, like, I did, I was like, no, I want to vomit. I want to vomit. But having watched Louise Hay, I was like, actually, you know what? I think that this is, at that time, it was saying to me, like, you're uncomfortable saying this to yourself. So how else is anyone else going to say it to you? So mirror work whilst you're doing breathing and EFT is very good, because you have to be accountable to yourself, don't you? Which is what
Yeah,
this is about. This is what it's about. It's not to, get something externally, which will come, but it's firstly about you building your divinity, your strength, your self-transformation.
yeah, and authenticity. That's the thing as
Authenticity.
well,
Yeah.
is you're aligning yourself to actually hear your true inner
Mm.
guidance, inner voice, higher self, right? It's for you to tap deeper into who you truly are and what you truly desire, more on a soul level, on a heart level,
Mm.
rather than it being from the egoic or from a wounded space or from external validation, etc. The
Mm.
more that you actually devote to these practices,
Mm.
it's just naturally automatically going to tune you deeper and deeper into your truth. And
Mm.
yeah, mirror work is so powerful, and it's something that we'll shift into now with to do with self-seduction.
Oh,
So
cool.
mirror
Oh, cool.
is so beautiful for self-seduction. And I know this can sound like really sexy when I say self-seduction. And it can be sexy, but also it's not just about what you think seduction is. So it's also about what it really comes down to is you feeling so in love with yourself, you feeling so good within yourself, within your own body, with your own unique expressions and all of that. So some of the ways that I love to tap into self-seduction is through literally like sensual dance. So this, like you said about mirror work, can be really uncomfortable initially, but the more that you just show up for this, I promise it will shift so quickly for you and you will feel so badass. So it's about
Love
getting
it.
a mirror in front of you. And
Yeah.
first things first, when this is new to you, it is just like you said, it's about starting off slow. It is about first starting with, I love you. I accept you, I forgive you, just tuning deeper in with that. And then you can slowly build up to, seeing yourself just touch like the parts of your body that you just never even pay attention to. Maybe it's the top of your head, your face, your neck. Maybe it's literally like your armpit or the inside your elbow, and witnessing yourself touching,
Mm.
but also
Mm.
feel yourself touching the skin, how it's feeling, all of that. And once you start getting a bit more comfortable with this, then it's about bringing in a little bit more sensual movement. So as simple as just rolling your shoulders, and you can start rolling your head. And just really, another beautiful one is even being like cat cow, so on your hands and knees. And you can actually breathe in and then like do the thing. So you can do that, but start to actually like move your body in a sensual, like circular way. And then after that, allow your body to communicate how it wants to move. So allow yourself to intuitively just even close your eyes without looking in the mirror, letting your body just, move however without judgment, and letting it just express however it wants. And like I said, it's going to take practice. If this is new to you, you will feel uncomfortable initially. But I promise you, on the second time around, third time around, it's just going to get easier and easier. And you're going to tap into feeling so good in your body and feel like this activation of your divine feminine. Even for males, this is for everyone. We all have the divine masculine, divine feminine within us. This will
Although
allow
in
you
this country, you have to wonder if there are any divine feminine, like it's so masculine. Oh my God. Even all, like, I think the women are more masculine than the men. Something to do with Uranus, Ruamuko, and like the fire lines. This is good for all of us, especially Wayne. You hearing me? Shake your hips, move it around.
Yeah, get them hip circles, get that wine gushy going.
And look, I have to bring this up because I think when I was sort of like, not, I was going to say no, I always check people out, I lurk around there. And I think what I absolutely loved about your self-expression was using the pole and those incredible, I have so much admiration for pole dancing. It's really hard, especially in those heels that are this. But I just loved it that you were just kind of like, it was just part of self-expression for you. It wasn't anything like, confined to a strip club with lots of greasy old men. It was just like, I'm doing this, I'm sharing it, like it or lump it, this is me. And I think that's really beautiful for people to understand that you can dance, it doesn't have to be, there's nothing wrong with it being sexual, but it can be way more accessible, and we can be multifaceted. We don't just have to be, one thing or the other.
Yeah, that's the thing as well with like what I'd say lastly about self-seduction is also being turned on by what feels exciting to you and the ways that your soul desires to express, whether it is through your style. Like I'm very true to being a very eccentric person with my style. This is part of my soul expression. It always has. This is part of me being a visual representation of my creativity, of my soul. So if it feels like you're not truly expressing the way that your soul desires to, start there. Do it today already. Put on the clothes and express the way that you actually want, and walk out that door and own it. And yes, again, initially it'll feel uncomfortable if you're not used to it. But when you do it and face that fear, your bravery, your confidence will build up. You'll become more courageous. So that, or then through dance or anything where your excitement is calling you towards. And this is one thing I preach all the time is always follow your excitement. Always follow your excitement, even if it doesn't logically make sense to your immediate reality. It's like the cookie crumbs that are leading you on your path of your purpose, of your dharma, of your authenticity. So when you follow your excitement, it might just lead you to the right place at the right time, or it just activates this new inspiration and creativity and expression, or it builds a different tool that you can use in the other aspects of life, or whatever. You just don't know what will come from you feeling really lit up by something that, a workshop, a class, a, thing that you want to research all the time, like whatever the thing is, like follow that. Always follow that.
And how we live in a little, I mean, you grew up in Chevy. Oh, I'm rude. I was born in Levant. So, like, I know your pain, sister. And thankfully, we didn't live there for very long. But, New Zealand's a small place. Oh, my God. And how do you balance the outer world, maybe resistance towards, or is this shifting? Because like I personally feel like the tide has shifted on spirituality, and the tide has shifted on all things self-transformational. It's not so new age. I feel like new earth is here. I'm not really keen on that, but how do you embrace living in a small town, small country, and really just not giving a?
Yeah, so I think this is sometimes a bit hard for me to speak into because, like I said, I feel like I was very much born a rebel. So I was very much born into just not caring what others think about the way that I dress or what I do with my life or how I express. And I've been very active in the online space since I was about 17, 18, with being an aspiring model, and that, being very out there with my different pictures and
Mm,
um, with makeup artistry and all of the different ways that I've had to show up in the online space because it's been part of my brand, part of my business, whatever. So I guess I could touch there actually. I could actually touch into what it has been like throughout the time of actually showing up in the online space, because I feel like this is where some parts of my shadows have come through with
mm,
upgrades.
mm,
As I've
mm.
upgraded, I feel like some of the shadows have come through when they haven't existed in the past. So
Oh,
yeah, so
you mean as in people giving you a hard time, or
my head's
ah,
thinking that people will, right?
okay,
So
okay,
again, this
yeah,
comes back to the
yeah,
self-sabotage. And yeah,
yeah,
for sure, there's people
yeah.
that project their ideas and their thoughts. I've had to deal with it for sure, even from some direct family members
Mm,
projecting things that I've had to just kind of like,
mm.
don't care, whatever, this is what I'm going to keep
Whatever, true.
doing. But definitely,
Your own fears. And I mean, that's what it is. Like, I know I said other people, but it's always, we've got to take responsibility. Anything that comes back to us is a reflection of something that's in us. And it may be another person, but we have to accept that we are magnetizing everything, good and bad, right, Michelle?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and also the way
Mm.
that we are responding to it or not,
Responding, yeah, or
or
not.
not putting boundaries as well, right? So this is something that I speak about in my
Mm,
masterclass, in my free masterclass Beyond Vision, is I speak about how you may be creating overwhelm, like avoiding taking daily action on your big vision because you feel overwhelmed. And I talk about how self-sabotage is linked to that
mm,
overwhelm. And what I
mm,
mean by this is if you have a story going on in your head, where you are people pleasing, or you feel like you're not good enough, or you feel
mm,
like you're a fraud for sharing your magic, whatever the
mm,
thing is,
mm,
this is preventing you from fully actually speaking your truth, sharing your magic, expressing yourself, all the things, which is then creating overwhelm because I'm telling you, your purpose, what you came into this lifetime to bring in is not it's not going to leave you alone until you actually step into it. Like it's not going to switch off. It's going to keep coming through, looping through, being like, hello, you've got a mission here. Hello, you're here to share your magic. You're here to share your gifts.
mm,
You're here to create impact, and so that's why it's really important that we use the shadow work, the somatic
mm,
healing,
mm,
self-seduction, self-love, to be able to break through these different self-sabotage stories
mm,
that are holding us back.
mm. So I'm conscious of how and listeners, if you are tuning in, I'm going to have a list of everything so you can pick and choose and shift where you need to go to. But I would really love, I tell you what I think we should do. How about you tell everyone how they can get in touch with you, and then we'll wind up the sacred space with a demonstration of visualization. How does that sound, Michelle?
Sounds
Yeah,
great.
awesome. Okay, so firstly, people, you have a masterclass called Beyond Vision, which is a free masterclass where people can get to know you a little bit and how you can help them. How do they get in contact with you?
Yeah, so you can just message me on Instagram, the underscore rebel underscore witch, and I'm sure Karma will link that, so it's a bit easier for you to directly get to my page. But you can just message me, and I will send you a link to the masterclass, and we can have a wee chat as well if you feel like connecting. And yeah, that's the easiest one-stop shop to get in touch with me.
Yeah, and if anyone direct messages me, the Super Manifestar on Instagram, I can direct link you to Michelle because we are friends and collaborators and sisters and all of those things.
Love it.
So, Michelle, I'm going to hand over to you to close our beautiful session in the way that you like, and hit us with your magic. Everyone I know in this community there'll be some value in watching this. So here we go, sis. It's all yours. Floor is yours.
Thank you so much. It's been an honor. So, what I want you to first, before you close your eyes, I want you to really get clear on one of your big desires, one of your big dreams that you have for yourself. So, when you get clear on that, it can look in many different ways for everyone. But whatever your direct one is right now that's most alive for you, that feels almost a little bit stretchy, like it's this big vision. So then just closing down your eyes. I'm just going to take a few letting go breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. In through the nose, out through the mouth. In through the nose, filling the belly, filling the chest, and out through the mouth. And you can start to return your breath back to normal, in and out through your nose, as you feel just a bit more present in your body and in this moment. So I want you to now see the image, or even just feel into this knowing of your heart's desire, of this big vision, this big juicy dream that you know is your true calling. There's not a doubt that this is what you desire. And taking a moment to feel into how it feels in your body, who you see around you as you've manifested this big, delicious dream. What you can hear around you. Is it celebration? Is it nature? Is it music? Is it the birds singing? Maybe the ocean? And just taking a deep letting go breath. I want you to now envision this child in front of you. Now, this child is a representation, and it is your inner child. It can be any age that comes through, just trusting in the first number or who you see in front of you. I want you to start connecting in with this version of yourself with so much love and comfort and safety, inviting them towards you, even saying hi. And as you connect in deeper, I want you to reach out your hands, and they reach out theirs, and you start to hold each other's hands. And you feel this instant warmth wash over you as you connect in. I want you to now ask this version of you, this child version of you. I want you to ask them, what are they afraid of will happen when you manifest this dream, this vision? Maybe it's success, abundance, love, whatever it was that you could see. What is your child version of you afraid will happen? And trusting in the first thing that comes through, listening with an open heart, taking a deep letting go breath. For some of you, it might be a fear of being misunderstood. For some of you, it might be a fear of losing it all. Maybe of losing your loved ones. Might be a fear of all the responsibility that will come, that there will be all work and no play. Just taking a couple of more moments here to just tune into what your truth is, what this fear is. Listening attentively to the child. And once you've realized what this fear is, you thank your inner child for feeling safe enough to share vulnerably with you today. And taking a deep letting go breath. I want you to now look into the eyes of your inner child and tell them that I love you and I've got you. I've got your back no matter what, no matter how many times you fall, no matter what happens. I will always support you. I will always hold you. I will always encourage you. And I will always see you for who you truly are. I will always see you for your true soul and for your true heart and your true intention. And we will always have time for play. And we will always attract our soul tribe. And we will always figure it out. And taking a deep letting go breath. Now I want you to feel into how this inner child is feeling. If there's any shift in energy, maybe they feel safe now to express themselves, to play, to take the action towards creating these dreams with excitement and curiosity. Maybe they just feel the love and the support that they've been craving from you. Now just thanking them once again for coming through and letting them know that you will connect in deeper with them, that you're not going anywhere and that you've got them and you will listen. And now just letting go of the hands and saying, I will see you soon. Taking a deep, letting go breath. You can start to move your fingers and your toes. Maybe give a little shake. And when you're ready, you can start to blink your eyes open, coming back into this present moment. So this was a quick, effective, wee way of recognizing the fears that are underlying, the fears that your inner child may be feeling. And the reason we want to visit our inner child is because they actually hold the key to our manifestation, our abundance. And what I mean with this is, if your inner child does not feel safe, has the fear of being misunderstood, has the fear of losing loved ones, has the fear of all these things, she will block you from fully actually taking up the space, from fully actually making the moves that need to be made to manifest these dreams and these desires, because she will feel like, I don't want to have that reality happen where I lose the people, where I have more responsibility, etc. So this is why it's so important to come to the realization of what our inner child feels, and we are the ones reparenting them. We're the ones that say, I love you, I've got you, I will always cheer you on, I will always support you, I will always have your back, to make them feel safe. And this opens up our world to being able to feel that we can do it. So I'll just quickly finish up with a beautiful way for everyone to connect in with their inner child is, once again, set an alarm on your phone to connect in with your inner child, and literally just close your eyes. And all you got to do is just ask your inner child, what do you need me to know right now? What do you need from me right now? And this is such a beautiful way for you to connect in and continue this connection with your inner child, to keep supporting them and making them feel safe and loved.
That's awesome. That really is. That I really felt that it was very strong. And I just wanted to say to you that it's so easy in a sense, like the memories are so much there. And so, yeah, thank you very much for sharing that with us, Michelle. And I would really encourage any of our sisters community who are interested in more deeply knowing themselves and really understanding some of the limited beliefs that you can release to connect with you. So thank you so much for your time here today and that beautiful sacred offering at the end. Is there anything else that you would like to close us?
Let's see what wants to come through. Just for everyone to know that you have something so unique, so special, that is a part of your truth and your expression in this lifetime. And this can look like something big, like big impact, but it's also your day-to-day impact. And this is the way that we create ripple effects of impact in the collective right now. It's about you realizing your uniqueness and claiming that, owning that, expressing that in your day-to-day to your family and to your friends and to your community, so that it can impact them and their friends and their family and their community, which then impacts theirs, and it goes on and on and on. So the more that you come back into your truth, into your authenticity, into your unique gifts, and realizing what makes you you, what magic you are here to bring, and you actually just allow yourself to share this with the people that you come into contact with, is what will change the world.
Mighty order. See you next time, everyone. See you again soon, Michelle.